Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Shot Tuesday, the podcast you can listen to on your break.
And
right,
should.
Jay?
Yeah,
And
you
should.
should. Yeah. Take a break. You need a break. You deserve a break. So
You
take
sure
a
do.
break and spend it with us.
That's right. It's Barry Nixon alongside the one and only Jason Riley, the maestro. We are back for another week. Jay, let's get to our first shot because I want to dive into something that I think our viewers and listeners would benefit from hearing.
Okay.
And
Well, that sounds
the only-
serious.
And the teaser is, you wouldn't believe food this good could be found at a bowling alley. That's all
You know
I'm going
where
to say. Let's get into our first shot, Jay.
All right.
It's one of my favorites. Do you mind if I start?
No,
I feel
since
like-
you're going and you haven't paused for a moment, why don't you start? I'm also here, folks, if you're not watching us. There's also a second person here. But Barry, please, why don't you
Not
continue?
just the second person, the beating heart of
Yeah.
the broadcast.
And
okay.
occasionally flapping gums, but not often. Since you've been on the floor, why don't you continue to
excited.
take the floor?
Thank you, Jay. I'm going to raise a toast in your honor with some McConnell's Irish whiskey. I'm telling you, you are going to love it. What have you
Okay.
got?
May I?
Please.
All right. I've got one of our favorites, classic Jameson in a glass that had been kept in the freezer. So just want you to know that.
Beautiful. Yes, that's the way it should be. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Okay, so at the time of this recording, this is about like 4-ish days ago, you and I and our executive producers met up at the ballroom up at Young and Bloor.
Yeah.
First time going bowling, the four of us. In fact, it's been years since I bowled.
Me too.
One of the things we took a risk on was ordering food at the bowling alley, because, I mean, historically, this has never been a wise move.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pleased to share with our listeners and our viewers the pepperoni pizza. I know what you're thinking. At first, you're like, this is just frozen crap, reheated. False. This was crust made in-house. At least it tasted that way. Light as a feather, great pepperoni, and enough pepperoni, Jay. It was littered with pepperoni. Maybe
It
not as
was.
much as you might get on the Panormus, but pretty close. So I just wanted to share that. And you enjoyed your meal as well. Why don't you share what you ate?
Yeah, well, I had a slice of your pizza. Thank you very much. That
Of
was
course.
very good. So I can verify everything you're saying. I had the wings, which were big, juicy wings. Now, I got like this mango rub. It was almost a bit too sweet. And I could tell you weren't loving it with the wing you had of mine. You kind of, I saw the look on your face. It was like, I'll finish
Yeah.
this wing out of,
Mhm.
out of
Respect.
respect. But it was the sauce, not the sauce, the dry rub was a bit sweet almost, which I guess you'd expect from, it was like a mango or something. I'm not sure exactly. It was okay, but it was quite a bit. I wish I could have divided it up half and half. I did enjoy it, but it was unique.
Yeah, I felt it was a touch on the salty side, to be quite
Okay.
honest.
Salty, not sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. More
Yeah.
savory, too savory.
A little, and I love salt, so that it was
Yeah.
odd. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I also noticed that executive producer Olda Roma, he got the mac and cheese. He seemed to enjoy it. Every bite
Yeah.
was gone. And Linda also had a pizza. She had the margarita pizza. You did not have a slice of that because it had some green stuff on it, known as
What
pesto.
was that? Pesto. Okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was a hard
Like
no
that.
from you, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
But the bowling was fun. And if
It was
I may
so
say,
fun.
you took top spot, 2 back-to-back strikes. And
Barely.
you show for those viewers that we have, show the move. Yes.
There it is.
That's the move.
You want those two in the holes and these two to cradle the ball. Okay, now don't let your mind get too perverted, but this is how you hold a bowling ball, from what I understand from watching Kingpin very closely, I might
Yeah.
add. And it did enable me to get 2 strikes, because prior to that, I was doing this, Jay. I was doing this.
Yeah.
And guess
the
what was
outside
happening?
fingers.
Yeah, guess
Yeah.
what was happening?
The
Gutter
ball
balls.
was gutter balls. Yeah. And if I can just say, not only did you help everybody in the lane when you discovered the grip, but you also, and this was verified and probably mentioned actually for the first time by executive producer Linda LeBrun, you occasionally would mansplain some of that to all of us at the couch. And we quite enjoyed it, but it was labeled mansplaining from somebody
did-
who,
Yeah.
Well,
That was nice of her.
it was, because
One
you're
of
a
the
man
things
and you
yeah,
explained it to us.
I did.
I've never heard that before. Mansplaining.
Executive producer Linda LeBrun occasionally likes to take the piss out of her husband, and that's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Because that is what a marriage is built on. You have to have that friend little back and forth. And she wasn't wrong. because I felt like after getting 2 strikes in a row, suddenly I was the best bowler that had ever lived for a second.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the third shot, gutter,
Yeah.
or 1 or 2 pins. So,
Yeah.
but the main takeaway here is this move. That's the move you want to be able to enable if you're looking for strikes. That's all I'm going to say.
Perfect. You know what? Before we leave this topic, I want to talk about something
Forever.
that I witnessed afterwards, because afterwards we walked together for a bit. You and Linda sync up on your speed. You are a couple that fast walks through this city. You're not wasting time. I'm pretty amazed by that.
Well, I just feel like that's the default for the city. The city should be a quicker speed. That's always been my thought. That's always how I've rolled since I've lived here. You and Aldo take a bit of a different approach. You're a little
Well,
more of a wanting to take in some sights. You're not in a rush. You're not looking to work up a sweat. You're just enjoying thinking about the game that you just had, having some nice conversation, which is great. But yeah, we were looking behind us a few times to see where you guys were.
yeah, and it's not so much me. I'm of the fast walker and darting around and always looking for an
Yeah.
opening. Executive producer Aldo Roma, city born and raised. I'm pretty sure the
Yes.
only one of the four of us actually raised in downtown Toronto.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
He's likes to take in the sights. He likes to drift a bit. He likes to watch things. He likes to saunter. And so I have to negotiate the speed. So naturally, you guys were creeping way away. So we haven't been in a situation where, see, he's trying to keep up with me. I'm trying to slow down to appreciate the sights. And there's this weird hybrid. But to be like, you guys were laser in sync. Like it would have been almost terrifying if I didn't know you. Like you were with such laser precision. It was like AI maneuvering the side.
Darting.
Yeah.
Well, because we got stuck behind many a slow walker, and Jay, I can't abide that. I just want to get going.
Yeah, even when your friends are many steps behind you, you
I
just
thought
keep
you were
going.
right there. That's the funny thing. But you're right, Linda and I, we tend to pick up the pace a bit.
Great.
But anyway,
Okay.
great night. Bowling is a lot of fun. Viewers, if you haven't gone bowling in a while, check it out. It's actually quite fun. You don't need to be a pro. You just need to remember the move that I showed you earlier.
Yeah. And listeners, if you can't see it, you're going to want to check us out on YouTube just for the move, because
For sure.
Barry has redefined bowling, I think. There hasn't been some new invention in bowling in decades, if not centuries, but you have found this one. Nobody's
Thanks,
ever
Jay.
thought to put the 2 middle fingers in the ball.
As
Anyway,
far as I know.
can we
Okay.
celebrate that with shot number 2?
I think we should. And we definitely need a hard course correct on our subject matter.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Jay.
Classic Jameson. And what do you
I
got?
got McConnell's.
McConnell's,
Your
don't
new
forget
favorite. Wait till you try it.
that. Cheers.
Here's to you. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Mm.
This is, we're going to call this our Star Trek Strange New World segment. We are due to give our audience a mid-season health check on where we're at with this season, because you and I haven't talked about it too much. So why don't you start us off? Where are you in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and how are you enjoying it compared to the previous 2 seasons?
I am completely caught up. Is this really the midway point already?
I don't know. I just made that up. Yeah.
It sounds right,
It's
though.
probably past it, because there's probably 10 to 13 episodes, and I'm one behind, and I feel like I've watched 6 or 7. So
Yeah, I feel
I
like
made that
there's
up.
10 in total. Regardless, I'm caught up. I've enjoyed every single one. Well, there's been one that I was just kind of ho-hum about.
Which one?
Until the end. Then I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. But the one that stood out, I'll get to that in a sec, but the one that stood out for me, and spoilers, everybody, it was where they introduced the very first appearance of the Q entity, which I thought was amazing. And then on top of it, we get John Delancey doing a voiceover at the very end. I was like, this is insane. It's incredible. I'm so happy they did this. My jaw was on the ground. I predicted yours would too. Why don't you tell me what you thought about that episode, Jay?
And it was I knew that character was a Q. You could kind of tell all the way through. At least
Really?
I could. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe it was
I had
because
no
I was
idea.
expecting jaw dropping, just because of the power level that they had.
Sure.
So I was kind of like, I bet you I hear John Delancey. I thought he was going to show up, but his voice was just wonderful to have that. Perfectly recognizable. Turns out to be the father or the son.
Yeah, it's like
Of
his
him?
son,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
interesting because that was never addressed. You may remember, this is getting off track a little bit, but in later Voyager episodes, the Q character wanted to have a baby with Captain Janeway. You
Oh,
might
I forgot
remember
about
that.
that. No, I forgot.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
wanted to be a father. She rebuffed him, but he ended up having a kid anyway. Not the same kid featured in Strange New Worlds. So he's got more than one. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
I will say, let me jump in and say my
Yeah.
favorite episode was the one I just watched. Like I said, I'm one behind, and it was
Mhm.
the one where we get to see more of Captain Kirk as he goes from he becomes captain of that ship for a while. And the most interesting, the Farragoa, whatever it's called,
Farragut.
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 And what was interesting to me, if you paid attention, Barry, is that all of the crew that was on that ship was like there was Spock, Uhura, Scotty, like it was all people that were going to be on his ship. So he was sort of captaining that crew that would ultimately become his crew in the original series.
You know what else, if you were paying attention?
Tell me.
The Farragut is the ship featured at the end of Star Trek Generations after they crashed the Enterprise. Picard says, Picard to Farragut, it's that ship that beams him and Riker up from the wreckage of the old bridge.
Didn't know
Now, you
that.
really got to be paying attention to get that.
That is for sure. Yeah, I did not know that one.
Yeah.
So that's a deep
Go ahead,
cut
search it
right
up.
there. Yeah. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. So overall, I'm going to say this. I think Star Trek Strange New Worlds is back because the first season was incredible to me. We just loved it.
Yeah.
It was sort of novel with the episodic nature of it was very different than what we were getting with
It
the
felt
other Star Trek.
familiar in that
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
felt familiar. Season 2 I thought was a little indulgent. There was the musical episode. There was the we're going back in time and it's Toronto episode, which
Yep.
I found there was a lot of
I
fun
liked it
stuff.
because it showed my neighborhood, but whatever.
Yeah, it was cute to see that, but I didn't feel Star Trek-y enough. And now that we've got the Gorn and we've got them
Mhm.
going to more places, less kind of funny, goofy stuff. There's still funny, goofy moments, but a little bit more serious Trek.
Mhm.
That's what I love the most. So I'm happy to see it. I'm going to say it's back and I feel really good. There's episodic, but there is still some of that connective tissue. Spock spending a lot of time falling in love, in and out of love this season.
With a couple of women.
Yeah, with a couple of women. Who knew?
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
nice. One of the episodes also that stood out for me was the introduction of the holodeck. Remember that
Yes.
episode?
Very cool.
That was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
You want to
really
add to
cool.
that?
Now I'm
Feel
trying to
like you
think. I
have
can't
something
really.
there.
I didn't really have much there. No, but it was very cool. So we're
It
gonna
was.
give this a health score of like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. What are you thinking?
But Jay, I think 9 is almost underdoing it, but let's
Really?
go with 9. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have enjoyed every episode. One that I thought was just sort of okay was the one where they go down to this planet and they get trapped in what turns out to be sort of a futuristic prison for like evil entities that are living in a well. Remember that one?
No, is that
Maybe you're not caught up. Oh shit.
maybe
Maybe I
that's the
ruined it.
newest? I
Okay.
haven't seen
That
it.
one was okay, but I didn't love it. I just felt like it was a little bit slow. And
Okay.
it was Spock and Nurse
Chapel.
Christine. Yeah, Christine
Yeah.
and her new beau. So,
Oh yeah. So I haven't seen that one yet, but I did see the one
okay.
where they were. Oh, that was the Q one where they had the marriage kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they setting
Alternate
up
reality.
Christine's new beau to be like a villain? Is he connected at all to any of the other Star Treks that you're aware of?
We haven't really seen him since, Jay. I think fans have spoken and they're just not all that keen on this guy, this interloper.
But why is he there? There's not a lot of time in a 10 episode season to introduce characters and then just toss them away. Like I feel like he's going to
He
be
might be
somebody.
back. He
I
might be
think he'll be
back.
back. And
But
then he came back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's your favorite plot device.
It is my favorite. You just show up and it's easy. All right.
Yeah.
That's our Star Trek corner. Is there anything else
Yes.
that you wanted to touch on before we do, if we have time for a rip from the headlines?
Let's just go right to rip from the headlines because that's
Okay.
always fun.
Thank you for sending some to me,
Let's do
as
it.
always. This is where I pull up my phone. I go to our text-based messages available on most telephone carriers. You can get text messages nowadays, everyone. And I'm going to scroll back and I'm going to pick one at random. And this one looks good. Here we go. Barry, I'm curious what you're thinking about. There's a huge amount that we don't understand, because there's a quote. Oh, here, why sperm is so mysterious. Still so mysterious. Not just so mysterious, still so mysterious. So what's your thought on that? And there's a picture of sperm on the picture.
Well, I think this is one that we both can dive into,
Yeah,
Jay, because for different reasons.
I know a lot
But
about it. Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, is there that much more to know? I always thought it was simply an ingredient to help make a child.
Me
Is there
too.
anything more? I mean, apparently
Well,
we are still learning.
it's
But
mysterious. Maybe
it's the
there's
jam that goes on the bagel,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
we equal a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's what you think. It moves our DNA into another. But apparently we don't know enough because it's still so mysterious. What made it mysterious in the first place? You know, one thing that's mysterious about it is
What's
there's
that?
so doggone many of them. And it
There are
takes,
millions.
yeah. Why does it take so many for just one to kind of get through? Now, I'll
Well, and
turn to
that's
the heterosexual in the room so that you
yeah.
can give us the correct answer.
Well, I'm not sure that I can because I've never fathered a child, so I have no idea.
True.
I've just simply used it for recreational purposes,
Yeah.
and not anything to further the human race. But yeah, I don't know why it takes millions and only one. That also shows maybe how many duds there are in a specific load. Is that the correct? Is that the scientific term?
It's
That
the
only
grossest
one
term.
actually. If you have a better
I don't. I
term,
have no other one, but
please
go ahead.
insert. But
No. There
yeah,
you go. That's how it's done.
I can't
Absolutely.
help it. Okay, it's too easy.
It's, you know,
Yeah. Anyway, that's an interesting headline, and this might be one that is worth going beyond to give us some more answers because I thought the book was closed on this one.
so what we're saying here is the heterosexual man that is not a father is not
Right.
going to give you the answer. And then the gay man that has a lot of experience with it is
Yep.
also not going to be able to give you the maybe true answer. But we do both agree that its primary function is procreation.
That's the primary function, but it also just feels great
It
as a
does,
man
doesn't
to
it?
release it. So
Yes.
let's just keep
Maybe that's
releasing
it.
it.
Maybe
Yeah.
we need just to have it out of our bodies. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's a reward. Unlike when you're had too many drinks and you got to throw up, that's not a pleasant feeling. This
No.
is the opposite of that.
This is great.
I think we
Okay.
got to the bottom of it, Jay.
I think we did too. I think we've gotten to the bottom of everything that we can this episode because we are the show that you can enjoy on your break. And that break, sadly, is coming to an
It's
end.
coming to an
We need
end.
to
Yeah.
got to get back to life for another week. But we are here with you, our dear listeners, our dear viewers, our total audience. Thank you for checking out Two Shot Tuesday. Please do subscribe, watch the show wherever you do, consume it wherever you are getting your podcasts. Barry and I love doing this show. We've been doing it for more than 250 episodes, and we are going to keep doing it for at least 250 more, I would think it's safe to say.
It definitely is safe to say, Jay.
All right. Well, you have a great week, listeners. We're going to, and we look forward to seeing you next week with another exciting episode and answering some more of those headlines to bring you the news that you crave the most, one headline at a time.
Amen. See you next week, Jay.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Two Shot Tuesday. The show is produced by Barry and I and edited by me. If you have yet to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, please take a second to do so now. It helps us grow, and it helps new audiences to find the show. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Two Shot Tuesday and on Twitter at Two Shot Tuesday Podcast. Stop by, give us a follow, leave us a comment, and share your favorite episodes. If you have a question you'd like featured on the show, you can send us a text at 647-486-4848. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.